Welcome back to Chain of Sounds. We'll continue with some two-channel DI boxes or two-channel preamps if you prefer. And now the turn has come to the Canadian company Radial and their PZ Pro or PC Pro if you prefer. And Göran...
Must be piezo, isn't it?
Of course, Piezo
You think
Pro. We'll call it Piezo Pro.
It's for piezo microphones
Yeah.
or pickups.
The marketing division of Radial has done a great job. We'll call it Piezo Pro. What can we say about this one? It's of course, it has the same function as many other brands and many other manufacturers.
This is a new model from Radial. A couple of years ago, there was another more simpler model. It was the only one on the market, I think. It was some other small preamps, but they were rather alone there on the
Basebone.
Basebone, the PC, Tonebone PC, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one is have more functions. We can see that it have two EQs for each channel, two channels.
Are they similar?
They're similar, and we like that. We need that. We have the opportunity or the function here, the toggle function, to have two channels at the same time or have it for two different instruments. So now it's set to A and B on all the time for your bass. So again, what do you use for pickup and microphone?
On this bass, I have the Fishman Full Circle. It's a classic working horse piezo pickup for upright bass. And then as a condenser mic, I have the pretty new Axelson Swedish-made mini microphone, which is connected. We've done the pre-production here.
Yeah. So channel A is the piezo, and channel 2 is the microphone. And I tried to do a similar setup as the other preamp and have mix that we have more piezo than the microphone.
Okay, what reason do you have for that?
I think, like we heard when we did the sound check, you heard it's a very high level high signal from the microphone. So we need to help the piezo to hear more.
And we can also say that this is not a solid forever solution. It's one of the ways that you can go, but we want to give you the tricks and tips for how to create the sound.
Yeah, it's not a sound demo in that way. So what I look for is the EQs, of course. That's great. I have two channels, two EQs. I have a little phase switch here. So if I want, I can flip the phase between the microphone and the piezo. And we have one XLR post EQ out, and we have one pre-EQ out. So if you want the PA, the front of house, to have a signal that it's not affected of the EQ, you can use that output. And then you have the other output for your monitor system.
So in that case, you have to trust the house engineer.
Yes. Yeah. It depends on the kind of tour you're doing.
That was mainly a joke, but sometimes...
We always have to trust them.
Yeah.
No, but it's on the other way, it will help them because they don't have to work with your crazy EQ.
Exactly.
because you want the crazy EQ on this
Yeah.
on the stage, but he wants to treat it another
The
way.
functional,
Yeah.
the functional.
So
yes,
actually
of
it
course.
helps the PA. Yeah. So, and then today we have another amp out for our PA system in here.
Yeah.
So we giving the control room the EQ version there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then we have some other functions with the microphone, of course. You can have two piezo pickups if you want. So it's rather standard. But the good thing here is this is a mid-price product, and it's really fast to work with. So it doesn't have all the whistles and bells that the Felix, but it's at the same time we can do the same thing here, and we can it gives us the things that we want to that we need to have to tweak the sound. Then you can have, I mean, you can always compare stuff, but it's not what we're doing today. We compare the functions.
Exactly.
We want those functions.
So
and the
this
functions
one seemed to be a little faster to get set.
Yeah, it is. I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I see it says low, so I cut some low. I cut some mid frequencies, but I listen. And I mean, it's the same thing. That's what you should do. You listen, and then you tweak until you can hear how it is. It's not a mix controller either, so you have to turn down one channel to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a boost function. It has a loop function to put some reverb or delay or compressor. So it's a lot of functions. It's more slim, the same size as the other Grace, but
it feels really solid.
Yeah, it's also solid. So we can have a listen and see what's happening when.
Yeah. Is this one made for a pedal board? Connected with some couple of some stomp boxes.
You need the power supply, of course, so you can have this on the pedal board. And I've been doing a lot of boards with the old version here for acoustic guitars. So the piezo only. Yeah. So it's a little more simpler than the high end, the other more pricey mic pre's, but at the same time it's very convenient and sturdy.
And you can tell that they are very, very devoted. This company is very devoted.
Yeah.
It's quality, and the knobs and the buttons and everything are, you can feel it's really, really, if you buy a thing like this, you can keep it on, and you can tour it. It's quite a difference between using stuff on tour and using stuff in the studio.
Yes.
So I could easily bring this one on tour as well. And what can we learn about the EQ?
This is some things you can do with a notch filter. If you have a problem with some feedback or anything, you can But I have this switch off now, so it's I set it up rather boring or
Yeah.
simple.
We will speak about feedback and how to avoid
Yeah.
it and what to do, but are there things that we could think about before we connect? The stuff that we can avoid feedback?
You mean when you set up
Yeah.
everything on stage? You never know, because it has to do with the volume, of course. But I mean, I don't know about feedback on the upright. What do you think? Do you have a problem with the feedback?
Well, usually
Is it loud? Is it
usually
loud
we're around.
drums? And
Yeah, well, loud drums, I think it's the room and it's the gain.
yeah, so everybody's turning up.
Yeah, and the problem is that usually some bands are doing the sound check on a too low level, and when they go on stage and get the feeling, everything gets louder and louder, and all of a sudden you have a big problem with the feedback. And that could of course, with a setup like this, you have to start with gaining down the condenser, of course, or even skip it, or you can send it to front of house and stay with the piezo.
Okay.
But there are, I would advise you to like experiment with which microphone you want to be the main, because 50-50 is not always the answer.
I don't think, never 50-50.
No. So we have to go the other ways, and I think it's good if you have someone that you can trust, and you know, setting the sound with someone who can listen outside, because once again, I've said it before, we're behind the instrument and we are like in the hands of the speakers and amps and stuff, and when that happens, I think it's good to have someone who knows approximately what you sound like.
Yeah. It's one third thing here. Of course, the buffer setting. We have the highest buffer setting here.
Yeah.
10 mega ohms, and we want that. So those three things with this flip of phase, EQ on both channels, and the buffers. That's what I think is the most important to look for when you buy a.
Yeah, and we will make a separate program, separate episode on the buffer and the impedance and stuff, because there's the holy grail of
it starts there.
Yeah,
it's the
it
start.
starts there. Yeah, I see a sign here, loop on.
Yeah, it's
what is that?
It's a way to you can have the switch here to switch on the loop or the boost, so you can.
Okay.
So it's at the same time as the other preamps. This one you can use for acoustic guitar, of course. For acoustic instruments, of course. It's made for acoustic instruments. That's really good. And
when it says piezo boost, what?
They call it the boost, but it's more that we have you when you press the small buttons there with a pen or something, you can switch on the higher setting. So they call it the boost, because sometimes or rather much the volume will also be louder, but we should talk about that.
Yeah, okay. So you have to keep an eye open for, or your ears open for, an episode from Chain of Sounds.
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. So bye for now, and if you're not a subscriber, I'll advise you to be one. Okay, thank you, and see you later. Bye.